Hello. So if you're new here, my name's Adela and I study economics at the University of St. Andrews and I'm currently in my second year. So I thought I'd reminisce today and talk about all the things that I wish I had known before coming to St. Andrews or things I wish I had done as a fresher, you know, just like this vibe. So let's get onto the video. So the first thing that I wish I had known about much earlier is the night bus. The bus goes around town from like 10:30 to like 2:30 a.m. It's literally so nice, like if you decide to study in the library until very late, or if you go to like the pub, then you can just take the bus home instead of walking. It's especially nice if you live in DRE or Fife Park, which are quite far from the center. I discovered about this bus very late on, maybe like 3 months in as a fresher, so that's something that I wish I had known about much earlier. Next up, I wish I had known that the weather was gonna be so windy. So the rain is kind of like horizontal. I don't know, I was just very naive. So I came to St. Andrews with like normal boots, with like normal coats. In my first year in November and December, it rained so much. And whenever I went out, my feet would get instantly wet and it was just not good. But yeah, I definitely recommend that you bring some waterproof boots. Also be prepared to walk a lot. There is a bus and there's like taxis, but I feel like everybody just mainly walks. I can't remember the last time that I took a bus in St. Andrews, so that again kind of leads to my point that you really need to bring good boots or good shoes, otherwise your feet are gonna suffer, and mine definitely did when I was a fresher. Okay, I cannot stress this enough, but please experiment with your modules. I feel like that's very normal to all of you from the US, but in the Czech Republic where I'm from and in England, it's just normal to go to university just for 1 degree. And if you want to change, you have to drop out. I actually came to St. Andrews as a direct entry student to the second year for biochemistry. When I came, I had a very narrow vision of what I was gonna take, that everything is gonna be biochemistry. They did tell me to just take first year instead, because then I could like experiment with my modules and like take different subjects as well. But back then I thought that like, of course I'm not gonna switch, like I put so much work into applying for biochemistry, so I kind of thought that it would be a waste if I switched to a different subject. So I did take second year biochemistry, but I also took first year economics modules at the same time, and then in the end, I decided to actually switch to economics. So I kind of wish that I had just started from the first year, because then I would have been able to take more different subjects. I feel like you should go as a direct entry to the second year if you're really sure that that's what you want to study. But my problem was that I thought I was sure, but I actually wasn't. So definitely when you come, don't be afraid to take a module out of your comfort zone and just try something new. Also, something that I wish I had done as a fresher is joined more societies to just get to know more people. I was very shy as a fresher and I wasn't sure how to balance my work and fun, and I just wanted to focus on school. So I didn't end up joining many societies. So I only joined the Economic Society and the Women in Computer Science Society and the Czech Society, but I didn't join any like fun or creative or sports societies, and I really wish I had, because I feel like that's where you meet a lot of people and where you make a lot of friends. So the next thing is I wish I had known about Kaylee's earlier. Kaylee is a traditional Scottish and Irish folk dance, and it's so fun. So if you come to St. Andrews as a fresher or an exchange student, make sure that you look out for some Kaylee events. Yeah, it's definitely something that I wish I had discovered much earlier, because I didn't really know about it until the second semester. And yeah, I was definitely missing out the whole time. Again, because I was very shy and closed up as a fresher, I didn't really go out like at all. And I really wish I had. Like for example, I wish I had gone to the Halloween party or the Christmas party, but I just stayed home, you know. And I also wish I had gone to more balls. So there's a lot of balls in St. Andrews, whether it's the Christmas ball or a ball from your residence or from your subject. Like there's so many balls, and I didn't end up going to a ball until the second semester of my first year. The most famous one is the Christmas ball, and it's so competitive. So if you do want to go to the Christmas ball, I recommend to you that you log in very early, use your data, not the Wi-Fi, and just refresh the page. They literally sell out within the first second. I'm not joking. So I just want to encourage you that even if you're an introvert and you're shy, just try to go out to all those cool parties. I knew about this one, but I feel like a lot of people don't, and that's the St. Andrews Shuttle Bus. So this mainly applies to international students, but if you're coming to St. Andrews from the Edinburgh airport, there's a shuttle bus service which costs £19, which ends up being much cheaper than just taking public transport, and it's literally so convenient because they pick you up at the airport and they drive you all the way to your accommodation in St. Andrews. It's also a small family company, which I think it's quite nice to support. Also, something that I had no idea about is that you cannot buy alcohol after 10 p.m. in Scotland. I was so shocked when I discovered this because I went to Tesco to buy an espresso martini, I think, and it was after 10 p.m. and they didn't let me buy it. So yeah, make sure that if you want to buy alcohol, it's before 10 p.m. Also, owning a red gown is definitely not essential. I never bought one, but I only needed it twice, so I just borrowed it from a friend. The first time was for the pier walk and the second time was for the gaudy walk. There's also so many more study spaces than I thought there were initially. Of course, there's the main library, but each residence also has their study spaces, and there's also a library in the physics building. And in my first year, I would just go to the physics library, but I wish I'd gone maybe to like the management building because it's much nicer. So yeah, make sure that you try out all the different study spaces because there's a lot of them and it's not just the main library. Also, for the longest time, I had no idea that Pablo was an exclusive drink to St. Andrews. I thought that it was just like a normal cocktail, and it's also much cheaper than other cocktails. So if you want to save some money, make sure that you get a Pablo and make sure that you know that it's just a St. Andrews drink. So the next thing I wish I had done as a fresher is go to the beach and the Botanical garden more. The first time I went to the Botanical garden was at the very end of my first year, and it's beautiful. It's such a nice place to have a walk and to just kind of wind down, and I really wish I had discovered it earlier than I did. I also wish I had used the career services more. They provide CV feedback and career advice, and it's really helpful if you are stuck and you don't know what to do or what your path should be. So I really wish I had used their services more as a fresher. This point applies to any university, but when I first came to St. Andrews, I didn't know about Uni Days. With Uni Days, you can get a lot of discounts as a student. And lastly, I wish I had known that it wasn't gonna be that competitive. At least for me, high school was very competitive. And before coming to St. Andrews, I thought that university would be even more competitive. And I feel like everybody just kind of tries to help each other instead of competing with each other. So yeah, that's the end of my list. It was so nice to reminisce about St. Andrews and remember all the good times, the times that I was so oblivious, especially about the Pablo thing. I really hope this video was helpful to all of you coming to St. Andrews next year, either as freshers or exchange students. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Mwah.